Peace, family. I hope that you okay. I hope your mental health is intact. And I hope that you happy. I just got back after my little 4-day vacay. I'm back home now. Had a really good time. I wasn't able to do what I wanted to do. Cookie just didn't crumble that way, which is okay. I still had a good time. Chill with my family. See my mom, my grandma, auntie, uncle, sister. So, wound up just going and, chilling and spending time with my family, man. And what's more important than that? I'll get to do the things that I want to do personally when that time comes. But what I wanted to come on and talk about today is I seen a video of the brother Vic Mensa, and he was talking about the rapper podcaster Cameron, because in one of Cameron's shows, I think it is what it is podcast, they was talking about one of his co-hosts was talking about just coming back from taking a trip,
turn right,
to Africa, and he tried to force Brother Cameron into accepting Africa as his identity. And Vic Mensa didn't like that. The brother Cameron didn't want to accept Africa as his identity. So he made a video I think he made a couple videos ranting about DNA tests and genealogy and a whole bunch of crap, trying to make us accept the title of Africans. Let me make this clear. This is from my standpoint. We know that our ancestors, some of them came here in the transatlantic slave trade, and they were brought here from Africa. But what we have learned in this modern time, that we have technology to be able to do deep research, is that not a lot of Africans came to mainland America. A lot of Africans that were brought across the Atlantic Ocean as slaves went into Mexico, Brazil, some other South American nations, and the Caribbean. A small percentage of those Africans came to the American homeland. And what always gets me is how these people want to Africanize us, make us Africans so bad. Like we as Black Americans don't have the right to identify ourselves, or we as Black Americans don't have the right to claim America as our homeland, when at least we've been here for 500 years. How long do you have to live on a landmass before you become indigenous to that landmass? It's a question. I personally believe that the reason why people with African ancestries, or mixed African, or whatever you may call it, or whatever they have a connection to Africa, they want to Africanize us as Black Americans so they can attach themselves to us. They could claim that we all brothers and sisters, which we are, In fact, we are. But in social construct, we are not.
There's a speed camera ahead.
They want to attach themselves to us so they can claim our accomplishments. Because Black Americans are the only first world Black people on this planet. All other Black people, unfortunately, live in what's called the third world. That's one.
At the
For
light,
two,
turn right onto Forest Hill Avenue.
they want to attach themselves to us because of the major accomplishments of Black Americans throughout our sojourn here in America. We are very creative and innovative people that have been able to overcome a lot. And we fought to make ourselves to the point where we have some type of equity in America. Because if we left it up to the YT people, we will be perpetually subjugated. We will not be able to have great careers, become millionaires, billionaires, mega company owners. We would not be able to do that if it was up to the white tea people. They would want us to be perpetually downtrodden, begging, and in a subservient position. So the only way that our brothers and sisters from the third world can come here and become successful and not look invisible and have some type of power to make things happen for themselves is if they attach themselves to us. Why do you say that, Brother DeLanton? I say that because you see that there's a delineation movement going on right now where because of so much disrespect and adversary behavior from our so-called brothers and sisters throughout the diaspora, that Black Americans had no other choice but to delineate from our skinfolk. And because we delineated and we're not standing up with the cape on, putting the shield in front of everybody like we have done for the past 60, 70 years. We're not taking the stripes, the bullets. We're not getting bit by dogs. We're not marching. We're not demanding from the government that the government stop.
There's a speed camera ahead.
Doing what they're doing. Now, the YT
In
man
600 feet, continue on to Semmes Avenue.
Feels very emboldened to point his finger of
Continue on
oppression
Semmes Avenue for 1.5 miles.
towards our brothers and sisters that's coming from the diaspora. And it's very unfortunate because we beg for solidarity and camaraderie from our brothers and sisters from the diaspora for many, many years. And for the most part, they didn't side with us. Many of them came here, went into their own enclaves, and then sided with white supremacy against us. And that's very unfortunate. And it's now it came to the time where we can't take it no more. We won't take it anymore. It's over for that. Either you're going to show us the same admiration, love, and respect that we show you, or we just won't. We'll let you do what you got to do on your own, and we see how that's working out. But the reason why, another reason why Brother Vic Mensa want us to identify as African is because Africans, Jamaicans, Haitians, people from all over the Caribbean, even dark-skinned brothers and sisters from South America, they benefit from us not having a structured identity. Why do you say that, Brother Delanton? Because when there's a Juneteenth award, when there's some type of benefit that's supposed to go to black people, they can jump in front of it and grab those benefits when they have nothing to do with Juneteenth. They have nothing to do with the reparations to what black Americans have been through. Black people globally have been oppressed.
In half a mile, slight left onto the US 60 East ramp to Manchester Bridge.
And a lot of us have been through a lot of janky stuff all over this world. But none of them can say they've been through what the black man and woman in America have been through. None of them. And without us having a cape on for them, all of those benefits that come with being here in America is drying up for them. And it's a shame that as black Americans, descendants of slaves, we had to come together and make a move like
Slight
this
left onto the US 60 East ramp.
for us to be recognized and get the respect that we deserve. We had to separate ourselves from our people who come from the third world and the diaspora.
Continue on US 60 East for half a mile.
Vic Mensa is, I believe, either Nigerian or Ghanaian. And Vic Mensa is one of those people who look at black
Next
Americans
light, turn right.
as if we have no culture. We don't have a strong leg to stand up on. See, Vic Mensa is one of those who will say, we are participating in white supremacy by separating ourselves from Africans,
At the
Caribbeans.
light, turn right onto East Bird Street. Then use the right lane to stay on East Bird Street.
And that's not the case. Black Americans are the culture. The
Use the
reason
right lane to stay on East Bird Street. Then use the right lane to turn slightly left onto South 12th Street.
the reason why black people globally have any type of recognition in sports, entertainment, in every field of endeavor is because of black Americans, because we put the strength and innovative fortitude out there to be recognized.
Take a slight left onto South 12th Street. Then you'll turn right
It's
onto
a
East Canal
shame
Street.
that Vic Mensa
Turn right onto East Canal Street.
wants to, instead of paying homage and respect to black Americans for what he was able to become
At the next light, turn right.
somewhat successful in, which is hip hop, instead of him saying, you know, black people in America who come from chattel slavery, you know, they are Americans. We may have African DNA,
At the light, turn right onto South 14th Street.
but a lot
Then at the
of
next light, you'll
people
turn left.
from all over this world have African DNA. African DNA exists in people all over this world. So does that mean that they're African? You know, people live on them islands, dark-skinned people with afros way out in this Pacific Ocean.
At the
And
light, turn left onto Dock Street.
they have African ancestry. Does that make them African? No, it does not. A lot of us have indigenous ancestry to the Americas. And we know that even those who come, who may have indigenous ancestry, ultimately, their ancestors came here from Africa thousands of years ago. Some of the red natives who we say been here for 16,000 years. But I'm of those who think that that's a little flawed, because the original inhabitants of America were not light-skinned people with long, stringy hair. When you look at the ancient pictures of the first Americans, what they call the copper-colored people, they had broad noses, thick lips, long dreadlocks. This is painted on the inside of pyramids all down in South America. The people are painted with dark skin. So where these light-skinned people looking almost white tea, calling themselves Indian, where they come from, I have no idea. So the fact that many of us have this ancestry, Vic Mensa,
In 600 feet at the traffic circle, take the first exit onto East Main Street.
Vic Mensa doesn't want to acknowledge that history. And to him, like many other
Exit the traffic circle onto East Main Street.
black people
At the
and
next
people
light,
from the
turn left.
diaspora say that we are pretendians. That's the name for it. Calling us pretendians because we acknowledge our ancestry that may be
At the light, turn
indigenous
left onto Nicholson Street.
to the Americas, as if that's cap. Well, if it was cap, my question to Brother Vic Mensa would be, when the YT explorers came here, why did they bring black people with them who knew how to navigate this country,
At the next light, turn right.
who knew how to cultivate tobacco, and who knew how to talk to the indigenous populations? If all of us just came here from Africa, how did those people know these things? How did they know how to get around this country?
At the light, turn right onto Williamsburg Avenue.
That's a mysterious question that a person like Brother Vic Mensa, he doesn't want to acknowledge that. He wants us all to be from Africa, so people from the diaspora could leech off of our accomplishments. Well, I'm sorry that that's not happening no more. It's over for that. We're done with that. We are going to get the respect that we deserve as Black Americans, and we will not be Africanized. Part 2 on the way.